Hi viewers. So in our data analytics and data analysis session, now in this second example, I am going to share with you another very interesting example. So as we discussed in our previous example one, if you haven't watched it, so I have pasted the link of the video in the description. Now, for example, if we have collected data regarding school age children and we want to identify the percent of school going children in the community, I will be using three techniques. Number one, with count if formulas. Second one, I will do that analysis with simple pivot table. And the interesting one is the advanced pivot table, which you must learn if you are using Excel. Now, for example, why we need this? For example, there is a decision to make. Identify areas and gender which need special attention to increase the number of school age children. For example, if this is a question, if this is the topic of the management, that we needs to identify some areas and the gender of children which need special attention to increase the number of school age children. Now, first of all, when this decision has to be made, so what I would need? I would need to um, collect data uh, regarding school age children from that specific community. Now, what would be the disaggregation that I would need for this decision making? Simply, we would need age-wise data, we would need the data by gender and by location. Because when you are collecting the data of school going children, so you will be asking the parents. So to see the male headed households and the female headed household, the difference between these, most of the cases we see is when the head of the family is female. So most of the students are then going to schools, and when it comes to male, so in some local communities the it's vice versa. Now by gender I means that boys and girls, to see what percent of boys and what percent of girls, to identify the trend, that whether for example in some area the percent school going children is 10%, so I would need to see how much is the percent of boys and what is the percentage of the girls. And by locations also I would need, for example, if I have overall data that this percent of children are going to schools, so I would need by location also to see which of my target locations is mostly in need of intervention, or which of the gender, or which of the household age. And I would also like to see that, for example, if the head of the household is 30 years old, so what is the percent of school going children in that household? And if the head of the household is 50-year-old, so what is the percent of the school going children in those households? So all these questions would come to my mind, that what is the percent overall of children enrolled are going to school, what is the percent of children disaggregated by gender, boys and girls enrolled are, what is the percent of children disaggregated by gender, boys and girls, and locations also. And the advanced one would be which area and which of the gender, boys girls, shows lowest minimum and maximum percent of school age children. So I would need to see all these areas. Now for this, a data where I have the name of the household, the age of the household, the gender of the household, the location of the household, and the number of children in that household, boys and girls overall, and the number of children in that household, boys and girls, going to school. So here I will show you how to analyze and collect such data with COUNTIF formulas, also with simple pivot table and advanced pivot table, and how to identify such type of trends and to respond to these questions. Now, this is the data that we have collected. For such type of information, you just need this information is enough for you. Location, name of HH. If that is also not available, no issue. And if you obtain the contact number also, so that would also be good. Gender of the household, age of the household. So this is about the household. Now, simply, number of children age 5 to 14, school going children. When we are talking about school going children, so we are talking about the children whose age is 5 to 14. Some organization use it 5 to 18, 16, 15, 20, 18. So I have just used, for example, I would need to ask them about the number of total children whose age is 5 to 14. So first I will obtain this information, and then number of children age 5 to 14 going to school, who are going to schools. So this would give me a lot of information, but I would have to analyze it by boys, girls, and then by the age of the HS and by gender and by location of the. Here I have all this information available. Now, simply if you want the percentage to be obtained against each household. So for that, simply you just need to add these three columns here and add percent of children. We just add percent of children age 5 to 14 going to school who are enrolled in schools. So now here what I would need to divide this boy by the total boy. These are the total and these are school going, and enter. And here I would apply the percent formula, and now I would need it for girls also and for total also. So I would just copy, paste and paste. So here you would see. Now this one is error because there are zero girls in this household and zero are going to school. So first you need to clean this data also. Most of the time when we collect such data, so you need to see whether the number of children going to schools are more than the number of total children, because typo errors might be there. So first you need to clean that, and that you can do just simply this minus this, and just see this in all your data whether there are some minus figures or not. So you can do that. Now here this error is showing here. Why? Because there are zero girls and zero, so it shows this error. Wherever you see this, so it means that both of the digits are zero zero. Now you can hide it like this also. You can use if error formula. If error small bracket, and then the same formula, this divided by this, and after that value f error, what would be the value? It should be zero, nothing. So I just copy it. Now you won't see those error, and it would just say zero. And you can use anything instead of this zero. If you want to use here na, not applicable. So if you are not using digit, so then if it is text, so you need to use these quotation marks na and close it. So now here you see instead of it shows enable. It's not applicable. Now you see this is basically giving you overall household wise information. How many households have 100% of children going to school? How many households have 0%? So that way you can see. But here you just now we need this information to be analyzed properly. So first of all, I would do this with the COUNTIF, with advanced pivot and simple pivot. Now, here first do it with COUNTIF. With pivot in advanced pivot, you can do that, but it's more time consuming and more a little bit confusing than the COUNTIF. I will show you all the three and then you can. First, you need a table by locations, gender wise response, respondents details, gender wise and by age. So you should obtain this information from this table to give you the n that is needed everywhere. The n, the number, the total sample. So here you need first that information. So simply I have already done many sessions on COUNTIF and SUMIFs. So you can watch them also, and the video description they are. And let me do that once again here. Simply I would need now the COUNTIF formula. And what I am calculating? I am calculating here the number of respondents by locations and by gender. COUNTIFs small bracket. Come to your database. Here first I need location, so I would go to location column. Click in the first cell, Control Shift down. It would take you to the last row. Now here I need to apply the dollar sign. Why? Because I would need to lock this range so that it may not move down if I move down in the analysis sheet. Comma. Location. Now this was the range. Now what is the criteria? Against which? Against, go to the analysis sheet, against this location. All these locations name I have already pasted here. The locations that I have already decided for the data collection. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lock this range. Why? Because it should go down. After that, comma. So this would give me the location wise number. Now I need gender also here. Now I need the gender wise also. So another comma, go to the DB. Now come to the gender column. Click in the first cell, control shift down. Now dollar, apply the dollar. Dollar is needed everywhere. So you need this to apply the dollar to lock this range. Now comma. What is the criteria for this? For this gender? That is simple. I have used M and F. You see here, M and F. So I would just do, I am not ranging anything because here I have used the complete name male. So I would not range this. I would just say here in the quotation mark M to calculate M only here because this is male. Now I just need to copy this formula from here and paste it here also and change just the M to F because I am calculating the same thing but just the last condition is if female. So what I would do, as I told you in the previous sessions also, go to the formula bar and copy the complete formula along with the is equal to and paste it here. You can do this like this also to copy this and paste it here, but here you have not locked the range of location. So if you go copy and paste it in the female, so this location A5 would change to B5. So that's why you just need to copy this complete formula from here along with the is equal to, paste it here and just change in this cell, change this M to F, female. And now here total. So I just need to plus and plus. Now just drag it below. So now you see you have complete 183 household respondents, among which 69 are male and 114 are female. You can obtain a simple percentage here also, just for your information. This divided by this and this divided by this and select both of them and apply percentage. So 62% are male and 38% are female. Now you need to obtain the gender wise information, the location wise responded information by age also. You would need that below in the analysis to see the number of school going children by the gender of the household head and by the age of the household head also. Because sometimes when the head of the household is mostly in these ages, so there we face such issues. So you need to identify those trend and pattern. Okay. Now I am using this same formula now, but location wise I am same. So this first part is the same, but here I would need to use the age column. So what I do, I would completely copy this. This is a shortcut. Okay, this is for the from the formula bar along with this equal to and paste it. Now go to the database. Here you see, or you can come again to do that same process. This is the age column. If okay, this one is the age column. In the previous one I was using gender, so I was using E column. Now I would need F column. So come here, the first one is okay because that's also location wise. Now this one is E. See this formula, this is E, so I would change it to F. Just replace this. And now here I do not need male female, so I would do it. This is the age. Now what is my range? I have written the range here. So here I need 18 to 25 years people. So I would say greater than or equal to 18 and then take this whole formula again, copy it and paste it here and say lesser than and equal to 20, and you need to close this condition, this criteria in the quotation here also. Now you see four people from a location are between the age of 18 to 25. Now I would just copy this complete from the formula bar along with the is equal to and paste it here. And now I would say that if this age is, what is the criteria? 26 to 35. So I would say greater than or equal to 26 and lesser than or equal to 35. Now in this one, I pasted again 36 to 45. So I would say greater than or lesser equal to 36. And here I just change it to 45. I just need these both ranges. Now 46, 55. So here I would write 46 and here I would say 55. And here I do not need two conditions. So I would remove this last one. And with this one, I would just say greater than 55. And that's it. Now you see, just see the total of these different categories. Sum. What is the sum? 33. And here the sum is 20 only. What might be the reason? Why it's different? Because if the male female total is 20, so why the gender wise data here is 33? Let's see this formula. Sorry, this is lesser than. It should be greater than. Now you see it's 20 and this one is also 20. When these are same, so your formula is correct. Now just copy it and paste it till the end. And that's your age wise data. Okay. Now I need the number of children age 5 to 14 total. Go to the database. Here you see I would need to calculate these three columns against location. So these three columns, if you see, there are digits now. So when there are digits and you need to, there were digits in the age column also, but we just needed to calculate the number of people. But here I boys and three children, four children, five children. So I would need sum to use a sum formula. So using the sum formula now, so what I would do, I would come to my analysis sheet. I would write here sum ifs. Sum ifs what? Go to database. This one, this boys column. Sum if. Click Control Shift done. Now done. This is sum ifs. Now comma. Against what? Against the location. So I would go to the location column now. Select first cell, Control Shift down, comma, and here now I go to the analysis sheet and select the location that against this location. Sum ifs the boys if the location is this one. And sorry, I didn't apply the dollar. Dollar is important and it should be there on all these cells ranges. Now here you see there are 27 boys in this A location. Now what I need, just copy the complete cell, paste it here. Now in the first one, I used the boys column, the G column. Now I would need to use the H column. So simply I pasted it and here in this G column, instead of this G column, I would need to use H column. And here I just need to sum them both. I do not need to count the total column there. And now you see you have these students' numbers. Paste them. Now here I need the sum formula to calculate the overall. So sum, small bracket close, and this one and this one. Now this is my total number of students. Now I need the number of total number of children. Sorry. Now I need the number of children going to school. So either I can do this completely and paste it here and go and see the column number and add it. But let me do it again. Sum if small bracket. When it is sum if, so the first one doesn't need any condition. You just need to range it. Range it. and apply the dollar sign, comma. Now I need this by location. So go to the location column, click in the first cell, control shift down. Here you are, and comma, and here you need the criteria, this location. For the first one, you do not need criteria because you are summing that column only. And against this location. Now you see these are going to schools. This is the boys column. Going to school one. This one. J column. Now I need the K column. So I can just go there again or just copy this completely, paste it, and change this J to what was the name of that column? K. And here I just need a total. Copy and paste it here. You can use these simple copy paste. Here I just copied the same formula here also, here also. Now this is the school going children and this is the total children. Now percent is simple, is equal to this boy going to school boys divided by total boys. You see here, and now just apply the percent, copy paste paste, copy and paste it to the end. And here now you see overall 48% are going to school. Boys 53%, girls 43%. So it shows that the percent of school going children and boys is higher than the girls. And by locations, you can now identify the different trends. So now you just select this whole. You need to select the whole analysis sheet just to compare it with the conditional formatting, just to see the first one. Let's see here. Here you see. Now the icon sets what it's showing you. It shows this one is good, this one is good, this one is good. Now there are some red. For example, this E location. This E location need a special focus because here boys, girls in total. Here in this location, you see in this B location, the girls going to school girls is higher than overall data. So we need to see this also, that why the girls, the percent of girls going to school is so much high in this location, what they are doing, why. You can apply different techniques now to this conditional formatting to apply a different percent criteria to see. For example, we have already applied this icon set. Now let's go to the manage rules. Manage rules, double click. Now here you see what it has applied by default. When the value is greater than or equal to 67, so you apply this icon. When it's between 67 to 33, so I can change it. I can say that when the value is above 90, so you should add this icon. Or in local areas we can say 80%. If it's greater than or equal to 80%, use this icon. If it's 80, between 80 and 60, so use this icon. And if it is below 60, so use this icon. So you can apply these different criteria. Now okay, apply. Now you will see mostly a red and down arrow. These are not good. Only this one. So you can identify these trend from here. Now you need to analyze this data. This is the analysis by location only. Now you need to see this by the gender of HH. What is the percent of children going to school when the head of the HH is male? What is the percent of children going to school when the head of the family is female? So why not we should see it like this? Number of children going to school when the head of the household is male, and then percentage, and number of children going to school when the head of the household is female, and then percentage, and compare them also. So now I just need percent of children going to school. In the above table, first I needed number of total children, and then number of children going to school. Now since I already have this number, so I do not need again this number. I just now need only this information, but I will apply another condition that when the head of the household is male. So simply ifs small bracket go to db. This is now I am just playing with these three columns. So this is my column boys first. Click and then control shift down dollar rate comma. Now I need this by location first. So select the location first cell, then control shift down, then comma, go to your analysis, select the location, the relevant location, then comma. Now I need the male HH only. Go to DB and come to this gender column, click in the first cell and then control shift down. So you need to obtain all this information. In the start you need to decide about this, that what sort of disaggregation I would need. And now here I just need male, so in the quotation mark I will type M, because I have used here M and F for male and female, and close bracket. Now the total 8 boys at this location are going to school, where from those household where the head of the household is male. Now this is 8. It's enough for me. Now this was the boys column. Now I need the girls column also. So I can use this here. You see, you can apply the other formulas of the dollar, but that would, I think, confuse you now. That is to lock your data by columns and by rows. Now the most easy way is to copy this along with this equal to, paste it here. Now in the first one I was calculating the J column. Now I need this K column. So I will just come here and change this J column. Here you see this J column with K. Simply just replace that with K. And here you need the total. So just use this. This is not again in that format. Okay. Now let me copy and paste it. Now just apply that sum formula here, here, and here. Now you have that number of children going to school at these location when the head of the household is male. Now what would be the percentage? So how to obtain a percentage from this? Simple. You have this divided by the total number of children going to school at this location. This is the number of children going to school when the head of the household is male. So percent of children going to school would be this divided by the total number of children at that community, at that village. So divided by this only. Just use this formula. And now do not use dollar value. Copy paste paste and copy paste it till the end, and apply the percent format. Total number of children situation was this 56, 28, 41. But when the head of the household is male, so it is 30, 14, and 21. Let's see the female headed household also. Now here I was using this, I would need this formula and this formula same here, but just change this M to F when the head of the household is female. So copy this, paste it here, and make it F. Now go copy this one from the female, paste it here, and make it female. So here I would need to obtain a percentage, I would need to divide this number of children going to school when the head of the household is female and total number of children of that community. Divide, paste, and now you just need to apply the percentage and paste it here. For comparison, let's make a simple table. This is the location. We need location. Then we need this table, and along with this, we need this one, the overall percentage. So I will just take this one Here it would show those errors because I have to use that as equal to formula. You will see now. So percent children going to school URL. This is my URL table. Now I would need 1, 2, 3. Another one, percent children going to school male HH. And here I would need female HH. And now as equal to, go to that table, bring this one just as equal to and click this. And now just copy and paste it to this. So along with that conditional formatting, it's here. Now here I need the male HH percent children. So this was the male HH percent children. Just copy it and paste it here. Now here I need the female HH household percent of children going to first remove those. Okay. Now you see. And it's not important. Your this formula can be against any type. You can do it like vertical analysis also. This is horizontal. And here also you can obtain these percentages by only those children who were actually going to school overall. You can obtain this from this column also. I have obtained this from the total children, but you can obtain this from this school going children also. That depends on your trends and patterns that you want to identify. Now here, so now let's see it now. Here you see a percent children going to school overall. At this A location, the boys percent 56% boys and 28% girls are going to school. So we wanted to see on which side, whether when the head of the household is male or female, whether it affects the percent of school going children or not. So when we identified that, so we see that when the head of the household is male, so 30%. So overall, among these 56%, 30% are from the male HH and 26% are from the female HH. So it's good on the male side. And when the girls percent was overall 28%. So when we look at the disaggregated data, so it's 14% and same at both the male and female headed households at this A location. Okay, this analysis, the way I did this analysis, it would always, when you combine this and this, so it would make the total according to this one. Now you can do this analysis in another vertically or horizontally other ways also. It depends upon the management. For example, I have obtained here the percentage is that number of children going to school when the head of the household is male divided by the total number of children in that community. You can divide this by this one also, that number of children going to school overall, and here you can divide that when the head of the household is male. So that would give another perspective, but the percent, highest percent and lowest percent would be the same. I did it against the overall just to make it sure that when we combine these percentages with these, so it should make the total is available here. See, so that you can also do, but the highest level, lowest level, that would be the same. Now here, when we try to see that at this B location, boys 47% and girls 31% are going to school. When it comes to the head of the household, only 7% are female side, boys are going to school. This is overall 47%. Among these 47%, 40% are from the male headed household. Only 7% are from the female headed household. Here you see, in this one, it's C location. 38% is the total number of children going to school, where it's only 6% when the head of the household is male, and it's 32% when the head of the household is female. So it's good on the female side here, but here it's good on the male. So you can see all these different things with these icon sets or any other way that you want. You can compare them. Now you can apply this conditional formatting separate each table also. For example, if I select only this one and go to there and apply this icon set it shows like this. Then I select this one, go there and apply this. Now when I select all of them, so the trend would show you these criteria against overall data. But when you are going to by different disaggregation, so you should select only that disaggregated area. And here also, see here the situation on boys side is little bit good, but let me apply that criteria. Manage rule, there are three rules, so in this one also I need this to be 80 and this one to 60. Now here the situation on boy side is a little bit okay, but on girl side is down. But when you look at the male headed household and female, in both it's the same. But here the male side is a little bit good, straight, not down. But the female one is down. Here the female one is a little bit good, but this one is down. So you can see all these. Here at this location, you see the overall boys score is good. The female is also good, overall it's good. But on the male side, it's completely bad. Only on the female side and overall it's good. So you can identify these trend then a lot. And you can see which of the headed household is good in this regard. And you can similarly do this same information for the age wise also, that when the head of the household is this age, so what is the percent of children going to school? When the head of the household is between this age, so what is the percent? I would share this sheet with you. In the description you would see the detail, the link. You can download it, and I would like you to do this and give me the analysis sheet. Share it with me on my email, which is available in the channel about section. So I would add these details in the description. So let's see what you do. Otherwise, we can, if you comment and you don't understand, so we can do this in another session. But here, what you need to do, number of children going to school, the percent are here you can obtain the number and here the percent. Number of children going to school when the head of the household age is between these areas. In both we have done number of children you can obtain from some f of the number of children going to school column and the age one, just like we did here in that age. So you can do this. This is for you a practice. Do it and share it with me. Let's see in the pivot table how you can do this in pivot table. First of all, for pivot table, when your database is like this, so there are the headings, the merge headings. So pivot table do not accept these merge headings. What you have to do, you have to add another row here where you just type the same information here, but when it comes to such type of merge columns, so you need to add, for example, is that here I have used TB, total boys, T girls, TG, total girls, TT, total, and here school B, school boys, school going girls, because do not use spaces here now. So you can use this column, this headings now for pivot table. You cannot use this heading for pivot table. Select this till the end, and now go to insert pivot table. Click it. Now here, if you want it with the simple pivot table, so it would be very difficult for you. So you use this, add this data to the data model. If this is not available in your Excel sheet, so what you would do, I will just explain now. First, if you have this, so add this data to the data model. Okay. Now here you are in the pivot table. On this, you already might know about the pivot table, etc. Here in this pivot table, these are those column heads available to you here. All those columns available in your database. And this place is for using filter, different types of filter. This is for columns and this is for rows. So in the rows, we need the location here. These locations, we need these locations here. And now what I need in the values here in front of these locations, the number of students going to school. So I would just come here and would just click TB, total boys. So you would see that in here in the values, sum of TB, it has named it already, and just click all those columns which you need in the sum values, school girls, schools total. So here you have these three columns are showing the total number of boys, girls, and total. And here you see the number of school going boys, school going girls, and school going total. Now, what the problem here is? Now, if you have the older version, so you cannot use here the percent column. For that, you would need to add that manually. The format is also very difficult to, because in that COUNTIF and SUMIF you have made your own table and you are here, you can't do that. So percent girls, you can do this, but like this you will have to double click each of the headings and you will say total boys, and then you will have to change this one to total girls of that age, and this one is total. So you would need to change these columns headings, and then you can add here also the percent formula, and simply you will have to do it like this, then this divided by this, simply. The count if function would not be needed then, and you can just apply the percent formula, and so you will have this total. But then when it comes to see the other analysis, for example, that we did here, the one that was for number of children when the head is male and when the head is female. So for that you would need then other tables. How? You would need to copy this table completely, paste it here, and in this one you would just need here in the filter gender of HH, just bring that here. You see, now you will have to filter only male, and here you would have this table. So you would just need to copy this and paste it here as a paste value, and then again go there and select F. So now you have all the F information, copy that and paste it here, paste value. So this is the female one information, that when the head of the household is female, and this one is when the head of the household is male. So you can use pivot table also for this type, and do this analysis like this. But here if you see, your data is locked now. Its paste value is numbers. So the difficulty here would be that whenever you update the data or something like that, so you will have to do all this process again. And in that count if and some ifs, they would automatically update the information according to the database. Whichever change you do there, so that would be automatically available there. So that is better than the pivot table. The pivot table is useful in cases which I will be sharing a session on that. And pivot table can also be updated with refresh, but here you see you have already pasted your data as paste value, or you will have to use many pivot tables for this type of analysis that we did in this session. And if you have the data model option available in your data, then simply you just need to come here to this place, to this range, right click, add measure, add measure, table range, measure name, percent boys I want to obtain. Okay, percent boys here. And what would be the formula? Is equal to what you need, this column divided by this. So name of this column, what is the name of this column? Sum of school B. Sum of, when you type it, so it gives you all those columns names. So sum of school B divided by what? Divided by total B. total boys divided by total. You will have to use those old names if you have changed them. So you will have to use those sum of this TB. This was the older name, we changed it. So this would be the formula now. Okay, when you do this, here you will see that percent boys, you see that is available to you. Just click it. When you click it, so here you will see that additional column. You can add these columns from here, and similarly you can do that for percent girls, so that would be available here, and percent overall, that would be available here. So all this, and here you can use the category format number, and from here you just select percentage. So you can do it with pivot table like this, but that you will have to generate some tables and all this information. And in the analysis, you just use COUNTIF formula. So now it depends. The advanced mode that I wanted to show you is this measurement, which is available now in the pivot table. If there is, if you want to add additional columns, so you can add those additional columns with formulas from here. Just add measure, and table range is already selected. Name that table, and here you can use any type of formula. So that you can do with this pivot table. Now that depends upon your preferences. But I would always recommend to use the COUNTIF and SUMIF for such type of analysis, because here you are going by different disaggregation, and in a pivot table, for each type of table you would have to generate separate pivot table. For example, this was only for this, so now I would have to copy this and paste it below. And here if I want to apply some other disaggregation, for example gender or age, so I will have to use that in the filter. And then here you can't do it like this to show you the male and female. First you would need the male and then female, or you would have to go to the advanced level of your table in which you generate such table. Then what you do, you just ungroup the data. There are different options in pivot table, so you just ungroup all of the data, and then on that pivot table you do your another pivot table to analyze the information. So I will make another detailed tutorial on pivot table only, in which I will explain all these areas. But pivot table would need to be refreshed, and this one is auto. Whatever change you do there in your database, that would be reflected here. And here you can just manipulate the information according to your needs. If you visit my channel, so you will see the sessions on Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Windows, online KOBO forms, Microsoft forms, Google forms, and many other sessions. So go there, watch all these tutorials, comment, like, and share with your friends and family members. And this session will continue. I am working on the next session and will upload soon.